You know the I don't know whether you have ice cream vans, the little vans that come around selling ice cream. Do you have those?
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
they play,
Yeah.
and they play a
Ice
tune.
cream trucks. Yeah.
Right, there's a play a tune, and everybody knows they're there. Everybody runs out. There was a guy, a comedian over here, who said that he never had an ice cream when he was a kid because his mother and father told him that when they played the tune, they didn't have any ice cream. So for 15 years, he used to wonder, why did they go around telling everybody they've not got any ice cream? Why don't they just go home, you know?
Right.
Oh, that's cruel.
So funny. So funny.
I love it.
Come on in, everybody. We see you out there.
That is
Sunday.
cruel.
Well, we used to tease our kids that when they turned 10 that we had to pick a new name for them. That's when you get your adult name. So you've got your kid name, and then when you turn 10, you pick your adult name. And so we would start working on these crazy names that we were going to call them when they got big. But I think my favorite thing that I ever did was my daughter. She was, little, and she had been messing around real quiet in the bathroom, and so we finally go to check on her, see what's going on, and we go, and half of her eyebrow's missing. Just half of one eyebrow is missing. She had found a razor and shaved it off.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Why?
My wife and I, without a conference, by the way, this is the telepathic link that me and my wife have. We both were like, "Oh my gosh, Corey, they don't grow back."
Oh my God.
Because she was like, we're like, "I can't believe you did that. Can't believe you did that." She's like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. It'll come back." No, we're like, "No, eyebrows don't grow back," and she freaked out.
Oh my God.
We were kind of cruel.
We call that abuse over here.
That's cruel.
Well,
This is
But
why I
here's
don't
the
have
deal.
kids. This stuff would occur to me. So
No, but that's why she's so tough now. She can handle herself in the world. I'm not worried about this world eating her up and chewing her up and spitting her out.
And probably why she doesn't talk to you anymore.
Well, no, we've got a great relationship, and she's picked up to my sense of humor. So she will do crap like that to other people, and so she joined in. She's 7 years older than her little brother, and so when he was getting ready to turn 10, she started making up names, and just carried everything on, and so
we call that the cycle of abuse, Luke.
Yeah.
you call it abuse, we call it love. Okay.
I call it cheap entertainment, actually, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's too good.
There's plenty of other worse forms of abuse.
I never baby talked my kids. I never did. We always used big adult words with them because we knew that we weren't raising wimps. I'll use a
No, they were just traumatized, weren't they?
I'll use a kind word. I'll use a kind word for a Sunday. So, we weren't raising wimps. So, we didn't intend to raise them weak. We weren't intending to raise them weak. So, but
Certainly not the kind that look for ice cream every time they hear a song, right, Glenn?
yeah,
Yeah, that kind.
yeah. Now, my son will chase down the ice cream truck. He's 13 years old now, and he'll just bust out the front door as soon as he hears that. And he's like waving him down.
When I grew up, I lived literally across the street from an ice cream dairy.
Oh, no kidding.
My brother used to work in there in the summer holidays, yeah. So we used to get free ice cream when he was working there, but not generally.
Oh, my God.
My dad was born in an ice cream factory.
Was he?
He used to have one back home, and he was born. His mom was working and was on the midnight shift and went to labor, and he was born on the floor of the ice cream factory. Can you imagine? Could you imagine buying that tub?
Oh, my God.
did they name him Tutti Frutti?
That was my mom's nickname, actually. So
Okay.
Name's Rocky Road.
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road Stone. What a great name.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. You can't name a kid.
We were special flavor.
We were trying to figure out that. Oh my gosh. Ooh, got nothing on Ben and Jerry's, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, we were trying to pick a name for my son. We wanted to name him Miles, we really liked the name Miles.
Miles.
Yeah, but yeah, you got to run the last name with that stuff. Miles Stone, and we're like, no, we can't do that.
Okay, now if we're going to speak of ice cream, I'm going to pull a really weird one on you guys. Trivia time. Really strain your memory now. Okay, on the old TV show, The Mod Squad. Okay,
Oh my, I haven't seen that.
you had the three main characters: had Link, Julie, and I believe what was the white guy's name?
Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
All right, here's the trivia question: what was Pete's favorite ice cream?
Wow.
Did you just watch an episode, or have you retained this from your youth?
I've retained it for decades. I don't know why.
It's like, what's the Lone Ranger's nephew's horse's name?
I don't know, but
Everybody knows that. That's Bullet.
bingo.
Anyway,
Bullet.
I
did you
don't,
say?
I don't know,
Victor.
Scott. I don't
It's
know.
Victor, actually.
is it Victor? Okay.
The name of the horse is Victor.
I thought it might have been Luke.
That's the other nephew.
Yeah.
The other
Well, then
nephew's
what's
horse
his
named
favorite ice
Bullet.
cream then, Scott?
His favorite ice cream is black cherry.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Because
that's
I
my favorite
remember
soda.
during one of the episodes where they were really, it was kind of a little schlocky writing every so often. They were really pulling on
Every
your
so
heartstrings.
often. What?
Yes.
Welcome to the 60s.
It was the episode where Pete had taken this special needs kid. You know, they called him retarded back then, but he had taken a special needs kid under his wing who was being threatened by a mob or something, and he was walking him in a park, and they were going to go get some ice cream, and they asked, and Pete asked the kid, "What's your favorite ice cream?" He goes, "My favorite is chocolate. What's yours?" And Pete says, "Black cherry." And for some reason, that has stuck in my noggin for, God, what is it now? 50 years since the
Yeah.
went on?
Those useless
almost
bits of
50.
trivia that just never go away.
Yeah.
It eats at your brain like a worm.
Yeah.
Brian knows what that's like, right, Brian?
Oh, all too well. I'm the poster child for that sort of thing. I mean, I remember I was on this show one morning, and Randy was playing the intro to a cartoon that ran on Captain Kangaroo called Tom Terrific.
Oh, Tom Terrific. Love it.
And I'm sitting here mouthing the words because I can remember each and every one of them. So, it's but I can't remember my wife's cell phone number.
Yeah.
The countdown to senility now in my case is like in single digits. The flames are lapping the tarmac now, and we're about to have lunch.
Well, it was I forget how many. It's just like I think the last time I was on, Glenn, weren't we waxing nostalgic about all the old Jerry Anderson Super Marination shows?
Nothing wrong with that.
They were
Fireball
just awesome.
XL5. I my area had Fireball XL5 and Supercar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Fireball.
Did you guys
I
get
love Fireball.
Did your guys get Four Feather Falls?
Who, what?
Four Feather Falls.
I didn't.
Oh, that
not-
sounds
not
real
in my
familiar.
market, no.
It was.
Oh, no. I know what that was. Yes, that was Gary Anderson's first kids show.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was his second one. The first one was called Torture the Battery Boy.
Torture the Battery Boy.
Torture the Battery Boy.
I thought you said torture.
Torture.
That's what I thought
Boy,
it said,
that's
too.
going to be a fast-paced half hour.
Yeah. A torch is a flashlight,
Yeah,
Really?
no.
right? And he had one before that called Twizzle that was kind of really weird. Even for my head, that was strange. But Four Feather Falls was a cowboy, and he saved the life of this Indian chief's son, and he gave him special powers. And this guy, and when he used to, so if he was sort of being robbed or something, and they used to tell him to raise his hands, and his guns used to pop up and fire themselves. And this guy was called Kalamakuya, and he used to appear in a blast of smoke. This Red Indian guy or Native American or whatever they call this week, and that sort of thing. It was really good.
Wow.
Really good, and he could talk to his horse and his dog.
Of course
No.
he could.
Stuff like that.
Of course he
Usual
could,
kid stuff,
yeah.
but it was good. It was good. Good for what it was.
I also think I not too long ago I came across what I believe was a cartoon over in Britain, Glenn, called Rocket Robin Hood. Did you know of that, or
No,
maybe it was here in the States?
Heard
but
of it, but never
it
seen
was from the late 50s, early 60s, and
Don't know.
it had the greatest theme song. But it's basically about the band of the Robin Hood and his merry men, but they all had rocket packs, and they were it was amazing.
That sounds good.
Oh, it was awesome. I love it.
That's the best thing about some of these old cartoons. You just smash two things that are awesome together, and then make a new awesome thing, and then just enjoy it. Now people they want to be all like, well, that's stupid. That's this. It's a derivative. Of course, it's a derivative. You it's a cartoon. Just have some fun. I was at a con, and my wife was pitching the comic book to a guy, and he looks at her, deadpan face, and says, "Well, that's not very believable." And she was dumbfounded. It's like, well, it's a freaking comic convention. What are you talking about? It's not. Of course, it's not believable. It's a comic book, guys. Come on.
The other side of that, I've said before on this program that place I used to work for about 15 years ago. The studio manager guy there, he said anything good on TV at the weekend. I said, yeah, Thunderbirds is on. He's never seen Thunderbirds, right? Because he was a lot younger than I was. So he'd never seen Thunderbirds, and he watched it with his son. And when he came in on the Monday, I said, did you watch Thunderbirds? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, what did the kids think? And they said, all they could say was they can see the strings. And I just said, well, you've got no hope. You know, that's part of it and all that. I just said, good luck with watching.
Here's one for Scott.
What we got?
Oh, yeah.
Gather around me, space travelers surround me, hark now to the ballad of Rockin' Robin Hood. I may well confound you, astound you, spellbound you with heroes and villains, the bad and the good.
I love it.
That's brilliant.
As our rockets race here from afar, for
1966.
we live
Oh, wow.
Blast up! Band of brothers marching together, heads held high in all kinds of weather. The fiery blast, the roaring rockets rise beyond the earth, beyond the sky. Robin takes a stand.
Oh my God!
I love it.
Send a joyous shout throughout the land for Rockin'.
Oh my God! Yes.
Fantastic.
Isn't that awesome?
That is
Brilliant. That's wonderful.
I especially love the chef is still got a chef's hat on. And
I like the way the little guy was walking after the girl.
Oh my God!
I just love the cheap animation when they just moved the cell and had them look like they were walking.
Oh yeah. And yet they put
I've never seen that before. Great stuff though.
I know they put all the work into the shot with Robin, swishing his hand forward. That's you can see all the full animation there, but everything else is just keep one step. It's awesome.
Gotta get it done fast.
So I was impressed with the straight on bow shot. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
So I spent last weekend with some of our friends up in North Carolina, but he is from England originally, and so there's a lot of British influence in the house. Mm-hmm. And I spent my weekend drinking from a Dennis the Menace mug.
Oh, yes.
Now, Dennis the Menace, it's not the same here as it is there. Okay?
That's right.
There are two different Dennis Menaces, but what I think is funny is that they were. He was telling me that they were created or registered on the same day.
Huh.
Oh, really?
Is that right?
In different places, yeah. Like,
no idea.
And these two people had no knowledge of each other, but they were both based off of a song lyric.
Oh, no kidding.
So they were both inspired by a song that had the phrase Dennis the Menace in it to create this cartoon. Similar, but pretty different, So it was So I drank from a Dennis the Menace.
There you go.
There you go. There's
That's too good. That's too good.
Yeah, he is right on crikey.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, my claim to fame is that I had to get in touch with with DC Thompson, the publishers of this person, Dennis the Menace, and asked them. They sent me a CD with all these fantastic artwork on it, But I had to ask him if I could move his eyes, right? Because his eyes were looking up.
Oh yeah.
And change the artwork. And they asked to see what I wanted to do, and they gave me the go ahead.
Nice.
Oh,
So
wow.
first time anybody outside DC Thompson had changed any artwork in the history of DC Thompson. It goes back to about 1901.
Wow.
So I'm claiming that.
You're a maverick, I tell you. A maverick.
What you get
were
for
allowed
moving
to
a
move
couple
the
dots,
eyes.
you pioneer, you.
You own that, man. Own that.
Own it. Yeah.
Whatever you got, you use that claim to fame.
Yes.
And I remember I debuted this some long time back on one of the other broadcasts, but one of the great little Goodwill finds that Susan and I found was this
Very cool.
great mug from Hercules, the Disney anime.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So here's to you, Herc.
Come on in, everybody. Welcome thanks for watching another episode of Sunday Funnies. This is the Sunday Funnies for the 9th of October, 2022.
There's seats down front.
There are. There's still seats down in front. If you look real hard, there might even be refreshments in the back of the hall.
This ain't church. You can sit up front. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's
No
true.
plates. No plates to pass here.
Which reminds me of which I'll give you another funny anecdote from my life. Luke, you might identify with this, because my wife Susie was raised Lutheran. I was raised Catholic. I'm not beholden to that. But anyway, when we first got married, there was a few times where Susie would come with me to go to some Catholic mass that my mom wanted us to go to, whatever. And Susie was really nervous about it because basically Lutherans are considered Catholic light. They're not.
Yeah, that's accurate.
And Susie was in church with her, and at one point I looked next to her, and she's standing there, and she's got her chin tucked like this in her chest, like she's really trying to keep her head so low and so reverently bowed. And I leaned over to her. I said, Susie, he knows you're here. Okay, you're not hiding from anybody, so don't worry about it. And she about punched me in the arm because she didn't think it was going to notice her trying to be uber reverent in the face of a Catholic church.
I've got the same kind of story, only it was at a strip club.
Oh, let's hear it. That's much better, I'm sure.
I'm up there playing the bar game. They have these consoles that sit on the bar where you can choose the game that you play and all of this. So I was up there playing one of the games. One of the girls comes running up between me and I was in a corner between me and the wall, and she's hiding like this and like all huddled over. And I'm like, you okay? What's going on? She goes, hey, yeah, hide me. So I guess I was the biggest guy in the place. So I was, easy camouflage. And I says, what are you hiding for? She says, that guy over there against the wall. The chair against the wall. Says, yeah, well, what about him? Is he a boyfriend that went bad or one of your relatives or what? He goes, no, he's my pastor.
I would think the pastor would have more reason to be nervous than her.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think she did end up dancing for him by the end of the day. Or end
Oh
of the
my
night.
God.
Wow.
Wait,
See how religion brings people together.
Forgive me, Father, I have sinned. Yes, I know.
I know.
I'm watching you right now.
That's the
Greg.
name of that tune right there. Yep.
Now I
Oh
believe
my
in
God.
I believe in patronizing the businesses and the places where my parishioners worked and the businesses that they owned, but that is where I draw the line. Now, okay, true story. My wife once sat down at a table with a lady who claimed that God gave her the gift of prostitution so that she could provide for her family.
Ah,
That's one way to look at it.
That's some gift.
you know who the Catholic saint of prostitution
gift.
is, don't you?
No, is
Wanda?
No, Saint Nicholas.
St. Nicholas.
is it really? Seriously?
Yes, it is.
Oh, no kidding.
Used to give out coins on Jesus' birthday to all of the
Father
prostitutes.
Christmas, St. Nicholas, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how that started.
Well, he gave them out to more than just prostitutes. I mean,
Oh yeah, but he gave them out to the unfortunate, but also
yeah. Turns out prostitutes that's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah.
I speaking of strip clubs, I think really,
Well, did he get anything for those coins? That's what I'm wondering.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
Tit for
he's
tat,
a
so to
saint.
speak.
Tip.
Yes.
Nice pun. I like that.
Boom crash.
Chris Rock says it best when he says, there's not much of a barometer for being a good or bad father, except for whether your daughter ends up on the strip club pole.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Keep
that's,
them off the pole.
Yes, keep
Keep
off
off
the
the
pole.
And so that's that. When I heard that, my daughter was young, and that was just my goal. Keep her off the pole. We'll be fine.
Speaking of potential ne'er-do-well, I got a new look I'm trying out here, guys. You let me know how this works.
No offense to Luke, but people will think you're from Florida.
There you go.
No, that's everybody's driver's license photo right there.
Yeah, pretty
There you
much.
go.
It looks good on you, Scott.
Yeah.
Do you think it's part of the humiliation to make the arrested hold up the sign?
Well, I know I'm surprised I didn't even do that. There was as ticked off as they usually are. I'm surprised they don't just throw it away.
Nowadays, most of them are digital anyway. They
That's
do a
true.
digital readout in the front.
Because
But,
see, I'm trying this
in the
out
old days,
because-
it was like, hold this, flash.
Oh, fine.
If you drop it, you get a black eye. So there you go.
I'm trying this out because, come on, guys, let's all face it. It's only a matter of time. So I might as well get it ahead of time.
It'd be better off if it was like 3 numbers with a dash with the same 3 numbers after that, because that's the Beagle Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
number
right.
in there.
There
you go.
Yeah.
They always had those black and white striped shirts and everything. Oh my god.
Oh, didn't they have orange shirts? I thought they had
Orange
orange.
shirts, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
orange
they were
shirts on.
striped though, weren't
With
they?
their number, with
Scott
their
had black and
number
white
on it.
TV.
Yeah. The Beagle Boys, right, Glenn? There's that.
Never heard of it.
No,
Was
Carl
that-
Barks, Donald Duck, Uncle Scrooge.
Right.
Well,
Beagle
those
Boys,
Disney,
along
right?
with Gyro Gearloose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Oh,
I better
It
Donald
was
Duck.
before your time.
Yeah, before my time. Yeah.
Could be.
Do you know? I think I'm the oldest on this panel.
I don't know.
don't know.
I'll put money on that.
There's a lot of gray hair here. I don't know.
I just wish I had some grey hair.
Luke's probably the youngest on the panel, though.
Most definitely.
Easily.
Yeah, I think we're old enough to be Luke's dad.
Oh, easily.
So as long as we keep him off
Actually-
that pole, he'll be okay.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that means it more than one thing these days, doesn't it?
What's that?
Does it? What's that?
Keeping me off the pole.
Oh well. Hey, whatever pays the bills, Luke. Nobody's going to judge you. Don't worry.
We're not here to kink shame. We're here to judge.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I like that.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Sunday Funnies, folks. This is 9th of October, 2022. We're here to put the fun back in funny books. Hope you're having a good time. We're already
yeah,
23
those.
minutes in, so I'm not going to run the opening. But this is a pre-recorded episode of the Sunday Funnies, which is why you're seeing the scroll across the bottom of the screen. No chat reading today, but be nice. The chat will be open.
We are
Behave
going
yourself,
to pretend
please.
like it's Sunday all day today.
We are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But when we talk about Sunday Funnies in terms of a little bit of throwback, I got one of those classic John Buscema submarines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
No, this is a reprint. But
Yeah.
can we get a zoom on that, Brandy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I can zoom on that.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
That
There
is
you go.
just, isn't that awesome?
That's
Look at
how you
that.
make comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Classic cover, too.
the
If
thing
Russ
about
was
it
there,
is
that's what he'd tell you.
all
It's
of
not
those
as good as-
series are just
Yeah. Look at the cover again with the top with the Kirby drawing in the corner. How good is that?
yeah. That's just wonderful.
That
Yeah.
is.
Said
Who's inked it, Scott? Who's inked it?
I believe it's a
I think it's Giacoya, I thought.
Frank Giacoa. Yep.
I saw that when you held it open, so
Yeah, he's the inker on there.
nice.
What number?
fabulous.
What number Submariner is that? Submariner number 8. It
It's
looked
a,
like
it's a
What is it?
reprint.
that's
issue
along
number-
the bottom of the splash page.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number
Nice.
4. One of those really early. And some of these interior panels, these pages. I mean, look at some of that.
What do you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
think of the redesign for Namor?
For the film?
Yeah.
It's all right. I think I want to see it move before anything else, though.
Oh, that's something that threw me off. Because I've seen the second trailer for Wakanda Forever, and it's got him floating in the air, coming down, just ascending,
Right.
and it's got his little ankle wings fluttering like hummingbird wings.
Yeah.
Which
and
makes sense.
that took me aback a little bit, and I'm like, oh, that looks that's probably how that would look.
Yeah, that's how that would look. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it looks realistic at all.
Right. Yeah. It's not very believable.
Well, you see, that's the thing about these old comics. They're a lot more believable. I picked up one today. It reads like crap. Superman does not look like this. I'm telling you.
No.
Well, look at that. He doesn't look like that anymore. Doesn't even fly. What a piece of crap. I wouldn't have, geez, if I'd only known.
He doesn't even read like that anymore, and it's a shame.
I know.
No, they
never
did
last,
read better
will it?
back then.
It'll never last.
Never last. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's
I
the
killed
thing
Scott. I'm sorry.
It ought to be in public domain here in about 8 or 9 years, something like that.
Yeah, but printing Superman, given all the litigious nature of Warner's, it's like paraphrase an episode of Doctor Who. Let somebody else try first.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the basic law of public domain.
Oh,
Pretty
Right
much.
there. Everybody tries it. They get a cease and desist. Most of the time they stop. And if they don't, then they settle.
Yep.
Before it goes to court, because they don't want those lines defined.
Oh no, heck no.
not realistic at all, huh, Glenn?
Not realistic at all. Glenn's going after something in his collection.
Yeah, he's going to get some good realistic comics.
No,
man.
I thought somebody was at the door. There's only me in.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going after something.
Timing and delivery. It's everything in comics.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would be around this early on a Sunday morning.
I will tell you this about the Superman books.
Yes.
They were way better back then than they are now. It's like the writers now, like they don't understand how to write Superman. I mean, Superman's kind of a Mary Sue. I mean, he's got all the power and everything, right? I mean, it's you know, so you can't write him about fighting a big bad, because what happens is you wind up writing yourself into the death of Superman, and then 4 issues later he's back. You know, it's back then. They were clever. It was about the puzzle.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah.
It was how do I do it all?
Back then, they had to evolve him upwards because everybody else was bringing out more powerful characters. So Superman had to one-up him. Yeah. Captain Marvel could fly. Superman could fly. You know, the Fleischer Studios got tired of him jumping in the cartoons. They just had him fly after a while. And DC said, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
It was easier.
They'll just have him fly, you know?
Yeah. I mean, considering the only reason for him to be jumping is to go from one point to another. And if you're going to do that, just, don't make him jump, just have him fly.
Making him that powerful. Yeah. Making him that powerful wasn't Siegel and Schuster's original intention, though. They wanted him to be a superhuman.
Right.
You know, they wanted him to be human with extra abilities, not on God level, which is where he's at now.
More emphasis on the man part of Superman versus the super.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, that reminds me of a point I was going to make when I heard you guys talking a few broadcasts ago, where you're talking about how comics got too realistic. Or there's too much realism injected into comics. And I think, the point I was thinking when I heard that was that one of the big mistakes that was made when we started seeing more quote-unquote realism from the comics is that everybody has started focusing on the fact that, okay, that must mean the comics should be considered more real. And I've always thought that, no, the only reason that we had, I don't know, like President Nixon thrown into an early 70s comic book or a Reagan reference or something was not in order to make the comic seem more real, but to give the comic reader a prism through which to view some of our own reality.
Exactly right.
That prism being the comics.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the comics themselves had to keep reflecting that reality all the time.
Right.
So that was, I think, a big mistake that comics have gone.
Yeah, I think a big mistake was it FF 99 where they went to the moon because Neil and Buzz were going to the moon.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really see the point of that one. And it's not as if Reed and that lot hadn't been in space before them anyway, is it? They
They'd
went
already
into-
been up there a couple of times. hadn't they?
Yeah. Was
Oh,
it
sure.
the Red Ghost on the moon? Was he there?
Right.
To me, there was no point in that story
Yeah.
Right.
just
Right.
to
Yeah.
capture the reality of what was going on. I just didn't.
And again, to use a kind of a focusing point of some of the stuff we have in our real world, to give the fantastic a little more believability, but
Mhm.
not to eliminate the fantastic and replace it all with reality. That defeats the purpose of having a fantastical world to enjoy
Exactly right.
and get lost.
Yeah.
Well, you see, to me, that was, the joy. We talk about, increasing Superman's powers. That was the joy to me of the old Mort Weisinger stuff. That Superman leaned into that crap. It's like, oh, the sun just went out. I'll just strike this 2-mile-long matchstick and reignite it, and it's like, and when you're 6 years old, you're like, ooh, and now, of course, we're like, it doesn't work out so well, but it's still fun,
That's why I didn't read those. That's why I never read DC comics, because I saw things like that, and the Superman was just ridiculous. To me, Superman, even as a 7-year-old, Superman was ridiculous because nothing can happen to him. To me, it's a pointless character in a way, even though it's one of the most important in the history.
Right.
It's pointless because he's a god, isn't he? Nobody can kill him. Nobody can do anything to him.
Yeah.
And he's a really great guy. I think if I wrote it, I'd have the world worried about him because you wouldn't know which way he was going to go. Everybody would be scared of him, wouldn't
That's
they?
true.
Well, they've done that, I think, to a nth degree at this point.
Right.
They've
Well,
done a lot of
I don't read-
Elseworld stories where he was
Yeah.
picked up in Russia and all sorts of.
Well, I don't read it, so I don't
derivatives.
know. Well,
Yeah.
that's what I would do.
And there was a great series a few years ago by Mark Waid called, Irredeemable, I think it was, or Incorruptible. It was like a pair of
Irredeemable.
magazines like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Incorruptible, where their version of Superman went nuts.
Yeah.
And then they proceeded to tell how and why. That basically is like, hey, Superman, could you go get me some drinks? That sort of thing, and some really creepy moments in this thing, but it had a really sweet ending. But it's like if we had a Superman, we would probably be making sure we weren't trying to blow each other up so we could blow him up.
Yeah.
But,
Well, the Superman landing in the 30s would be completely different from the Superman landing in the 80s, which would be completely different from the Superman landing now. Imagine if Clark Kent had grown up during the 60s.
Oh my God!
The 68
I remember
True
one
Love and the
one
hippie movement, all of that.
I remember one particular story as to why I stopped reading DC and even looking at them. Was when I think it was drawn by Kurt Swan, because I like Kurt Swan's artwork. I think he's great. And it was Superboy. It was Superboy, and he was doing all the bad things. Like there was a little old lady going to go into the shop, and she was the 1000th customer. And it was if you were the 1000th customer, you could take home whatever you could carry. So she was 98, this woman, so she could only carry a little object. And Superboy zoomed in before her, became the 1000th customer, and took everything from the shop. And he was going around doing all these things. And at the end of it all, he returned it all, and he said, "Don't worry, I will never do that."
Oh.
I've got it out of my system.
You
just did. So I went over to Green Lantern because of Gil Kane's wonderful artwork, and I don't know who wrote that, but that wasn't much better. So and then Stan and Jack landed, and that was the end of that.
The truth is, these big publishers have had a history of hiring absolute idiots to write these scripts. I'm like, come on. Now, being fun is one thing, but something that stupid, I'll never do that. That's not how that works. But
it was a different time too. You have to understand the context. That was
true. Yeah,
was there.
I'll never do that.
Yeah, once the Code Authority kicked into place, the majority of the guys that were writing and working on Superman were the same teams that were working on Captain Marvel.
That's true.
Just without C.C. Beck. I mean, all the writers jumped over and started doing. That's where Supergirl came from. She's actually DC's version of Mary Marvel.
Yeah,
Right.
They even got two of the artists, Pete Costanza and Kurt Schappenberger.
Well,
And see, the thing is,
Kurt Schaffenberger.
I've always thought that if you're going to have a character like Superman or Shazam or something, the thing is, one of the things you should always do is try to put them in a situation where their powers are either tested to the nth limit and they actually are threatened by the conflict, or put them in a situation where the result of their powers per se aren't really going to affect the outcome.
Right.
It's more about how they use them, in what special way, or in situations where they're basically their powers are useless, and so they have to rely on other abilities, other skills that you really don't know what the outcome's going to be.
That's what happened in the Galactus trilogy, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that kind of theme where you had God landing on the Earth to eat it, and little Reed Richards had to find a way. You know, I know he got help from the Watcher and all that, but that's why those stories were so good.
Yeah.
Never forget that Watcher hauls him into a room. Don't take that. Take this. Take this.
Yeah.
One. This one. You want this one?
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah.
I'm only here to watch, but take that one.
Yeah, try to give little hints.
Yeah, can't you see Reed like putting his hand over something and Watcher's like,
getting warmer.
What am I holding?
You're so close, kid. You're so close.
Sounds like 3 syllables.
Take your lead. Get out of here. I'll show you.
And I seem to remember Reed taking
It
the
rhymes
ultimate
with-
nullifier and shoving it into
yeah.
Galactus's face.
Yeah.
Look at what I've got.
Wouldn't it have been great if the torch hadn't have come back because he thought, sod that, I'm out of here, and he didn't come back and the Earth would have been destroyed?
He's like, it
That would
rhymes
have been
with.
very realistic, wouldn't it?
It rhymes with an ultimate nullifier.
Oh,
But
Is it
I
bigger
always
than a bread box?
expected- I always expected Endgame to end with Howard the Duck walking in and grabbing the gauntlet and restructuring the Marvel Universe.
wouldn't that be
And at
great?
the end of the movie, everything Howard's got it and goes, I'll fix it. Boom. All of a sudden the screen goes black and it's like, you got to come back for the next movie.
And you come back and everybody's got pin feathers.
Would have been great.
Oh,
everybody as ducks. It would have been hilarious.
The real
No,
fans
Randy,
would have loved
that
it.
is exactly what I would imagine you would like to see. That is so perfect.
Captain America duck would be hilarious.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. That'd be excellent.
Yeah.
I
That's
would-
what they introduced him there in the back of Guardians for some reason.
Yeah.
They haven't
Yeah,
used
well,
it
yeah.
since, but
He was in Endgame for like half a second.
yeah.
Yeah.
The scene where the Wasp, shows up and did a quick little focus on her. Over her left shoulder, there's this blank little area, and you can see Howard walking forward
Howard
with a
right there,
blaster in his hand.
Yep.
It's awesome. I mean, if
It
you
is.
blink, you miss it.
Yeah.
That would have been the great way to end it. Just
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was
the
good.
Thanos gets evaporated. The glove goes rolling across the ground, right at Howard's feet. Howard goes, "I'll fix it."
Wow.
And you see this woof, this white light, and it's like the Marvel Universe might return. Yeah.
And
Just a
Kevin,
little
and on
different
Monday
than
morning,
usual.
Kevin Feige will be asking everyone he sees, "Do you want fries with that?"
Exactly.
That would be great. I'll never forget the call I got from my best friend after this guy is what everybody in the business, though I hate the term, would call a normie. He doesn't read comics very often. Called me up after he saw Infinity War, all upset. You didn't tell me it was continued. Yeah,
Just
isn't
like
it
a
great?
comic book.
Great, right?
Oh God, yes.
So is Empire Strikes Back. I'll never forget that either. That was great.
Oh man.
Well, I tell the story frequently of when the third of the original trilogy was about to come, or no, the third of the first three
The good
was coming
three,
out,
yeah.
and he was adamant. I don't want to hear any spoilers. I don't want to hear a thing about it. And he would when we'd get together and we'd start talking about what might happen, he'd be like, "Shut up, everybody! Shut up! I don't want to hear anything. I'm gonna have you ruin it for me." And one night he did that, and I just looked at him and said, "Anakin Skywalker becomes Darth Vader," and he's like, "Ah!"
Oh my God.
And I'm like, "We knew the ending 20 years ago, you idiot!" Where were you?
Oh, you meant the first three Star Wars.
Yeah,
I thought you were
yeah.
talking about Lord
Episodes
of
1
the
and
Rings.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
oh
don't
yeah,
know how-
they did make a film of this, didn't they?
I
Anyway,
don't know how much those films cost, but the six, I can give you 6 films that should never have been made for 2 different reasons. First reason is the Star Wars films, the first 3. What a waste of time. because we knew what was going to happen. What a total waste of time and money and effort, right?
Yeah.
And the other three is the Lord of the Rings trilogy. What a waste of time. They could have made that a 2-hour film. As I've said on here before, I wasted 9 hours of my life watching that. A guy from work. I've never read the book. I can't do with elves and spells and Harry Potter. I can't do with it. So we're talking about this, and my friend went to see these films, took his kids to see the film, says they're brilliant. This is over a couple of years, obviously, because they're released sort of back to back, weren't they? And anyway, he came in one Friday with a box set of Lord of the Rings, and he put it on my desk and he said, "No argument. I want a full report Monday morning."
God!
So I took this home.
What'd you do to him?
And I got up on Saturday morning, had my breakfast, and I thought, well, okay. And I sat down for 9 hours and watched the whole thing all the way through.
Wow!
And I rang him and I said, I've just finished watching these films. He says, "What do you think?" I said, "That's 9 hours of my life I'll never get back because of you." I said the best part about it was when Sean Bean got arrowed, because he knows what I think about Sean Bean.
Yes.
That was the best part, when he got arrowed. I said, what kind of a book and film works that the second part is called Return of the King? Well, you don't need to read the first bit. It's like the Star Wars one. You don't need to see them because you know where it's going to be.
Yeah. Except you don't know how he's going to return. You don't know who's really going to be the king.
That's right.
Well,
and there was always that question as to whether or not Jar Jar Binks was on the dark side of the Force, or if he was going to turn into Boba Fett.
He was a Sith Lord. He was the most powerful character in the entire set of films. He's the one that got Anakin started in the first film, and Ki-Gon got them started out. In the second film, he's the one that led to the Emperor grabbing all that power. And then he had to walk on the third one. He's just probably just surveying. Yep, I screwed it all up good. I'm about to report into my Dark Lords now.
And the thing is, Glenn, the point about Star Wars is that you have to look at it from the point of view where it's one big long moment of tension, because any second now Luke could just drop everything and say, "I'm going to get to Toshi Station to get those power converters like I said I was going to do. Forget everything else." Because
never did pick them up.
Little bits,
The best thing about that, first one was that, what's the guy called who plays the tall robot?
Oh, C-3PO.
Yeah, what's the guy
Anthony
called?
Daniels.
Anthony.
You know how he secured the part?
Oh.
He was doing the test shot. What do you call it? Audition.
Yeah.
And they were in the desert. And they were, when little one, let's see, 3PO tweets and starts going away, and he kicks him. The big guy kicks him, doesn't he? Well, that wasn't in the script. That was all ad lib by Anthony Daniels.
Oh, okay.
And George Lucas said, "You've got the part," because that little bit where he kicked him, that's not in the script.
Oh, that's awesome! That's awesome. And there were many a times when Lucas was almost sorry he did, because Anthony Daniels was notorious for not being able to shut up about secrets for the film. They had to almost literally lock him away because he was always spilling, secrets.
The Tom Holland of his day.
They couldn't tell him anything.
Scatty Kathy of the highest order.
They couldn't even tell him he was in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they tore him apart in the second one. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
had him
Maybe that
reassembled.
Maybe that
towards the
was a
end.
threat. Maybe that was a threat.
Oh, yeah. That's why you hardly ever see him in any interviews at that time, because they didn't dare put him in front of a microphone. Oh my God, that was terrible.
Yeah, now they just give Tom Holland the wrong scripts. So
Exactly.
here's your parts for tomorrow, kid.
Well, they did that with
Kubrick.
Kubrick did that with Slim Pickens in Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
Really?
I've said this before. When Sellers was supposed to play the part that Slim Pickens played of the aircraft pilot. But Sellers had sort of fallen out with Kubrick because he kept making him do every scene 9 million times.
Oh.
So he broke his ankle and couldn't play that part. So Kubrick got Slim Pickens involved, but didn't tell Slim Pickens because he didn't see he wasn't in any other part of the film. He was only in that cockpit until the end, obviously. With those guys, Shane Rimmer, Scott Tracy's voice in Thunderbirds, is one of the pilots.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
And he he told Slim Pickens to play it straight. Or he didn't tell him it was a comedy, and Slim Pickens just played it straight. That's why it works, because Slim Pickens is sort of playing a serious part, and all the others are having a laugh, and he didn't know until obviously he saw it that he played the. Played it wrong.
It was the straight man, yeah.
And it's genius because Slim Pickens can do comedy. You know,
he's great, isn't he? It's brilliant, yeah.
You know, comedic to the nth degree. It's amazing.
Yeah, the co-pilot who counts down the miles is Shane Rimmer, who was Scott Tracy.
Yeah.
So, oh, okay.
Did a lot of Hammer films too.
Yeah,
and I noticed very young James Earl Jones as well.
Yeah, I'm going to say the black guy. That's him, the James Earl Jones. Yeah, that's right. He's on the cabin, isn't he? Yeah.
Did you hear that James Earl Jones finally signed away his voice rights to the to Darth Vader?
Yeah.
He had signed a deal that the only person that could voice Darth Vader was him, and he finally released that so that they can, because he's getting up there.
Yeah.
Well, he sold the rights to his voice sound. And so they're going to be able to digitally use his voice and all kinds of uses, you know.
They're tying it to an AI, I heard.
You know, I think
great.
That's not difficult to do anymore. They did that with Samuel L. Jackson on Alexa.
Oh yeah.
If you have an Alexa, you can say, "Hey Alexa, have Samuel L. Jackson tell me the weather," and he'll tell you the weather. Why am I supposed to do this for you, motherfucker?
It's raining outside.
It's raining out. It's going to be 67 degrees where you are.
Yeah.
You know.
It's cold out there. Put on a coat.
And then they'll offer you the service that if you want Samuel L. Jackson to replace Alexa, it's like an extra $5 a month.
Oh my gosh.
I've been saying for a long time.
Money well spent.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a long time that I think the future of film, with the CGI being so good, will be in voice acting, because I reckon the not too distant future we're going to get James Dean's latest film, because the CGI will be so good.
Yep.
Well,
they'll need somebody to do his voice, you know.
Yeah, but only if their estates will release their likenesses.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Because but here's the thing. Think about all these.
Did they get $20 million waved at them? I'm sure they'll think
they're going to do it. Yeah.
Oh sure.
I mean, heck.
I would.
Yeah. And I would expect, if I were famous, I would expect my family, my estate, to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, make money. I mean, come on, that's especially okay. So, you know, we're all guys here. We understand there's like kind of this natural need to take care of your families and to leave a legacy behind, and to take care of your offspring. To be able to do it beyond the grave, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If that option is on the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then
I fully expect that whenever I go, that whoever's left with in charge of everything about me, they're going to bury it deep as they can get. Right.
I'm currently trying to sell all.
They're all
my
changing
art.
their last name from Rosema to something else.
I'm currently trying to
changing it to
sell all
Morris.
my artwork. I'm going to sell all my artwork because I don't have children, so I don't have anybody to pass it on to. And I figure I've got nephews and nieces, and I figure that they're either going to throw it away or sell it.
Oh yeah.
So I might as well sell it and enjoy it.
All that's going to be left of me is this.
This podcast and that image. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all that's
That's
left.
right.
Freeze frame it now, folks. Is the last you'll see of me.
Everybody's where's Scott? It's like, oh, you didn't hear? Scott punched out. He's
Yeah, really. He's out of here.
yeah.
Just in time for DeadCon.
Yeah, there's a couple
Right.
there's a couple comics with his name on it, so you should check them out.
Yeah, just a few.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the National Lampoon Broadway play Lemmings, where they had the All-Star Dead Band. And they had like Jimi Hendrix on lead guitar, Brian Jones on rhythm, Keith Moon on drums, and on keyboards, Harry Truman.
Oh my God.
Oh
I
man,
can
I
visually
heard,
see him doing a Ray Manzarek on it.
I heard
I can too.
Looking away.
I heard old Truman could tickle the ivories.
He
Yeah.
could. He could. He was
He's well
a
known for
funny
that,
fellow
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, on a previous broadcast, you guys were talking about Plastic Man, the old
Yeah.
Jack Cole strip.
Yeah.
And again, I was just listening in, and as I couldn't chime in, but I wanted to tell you guys, I actually have a little bit of history with Plastic Man. in an odd kind of way.
Uh-oh.
And so
This isn't an adult story, is it?
Oh no,
Okay.
unfortunately, no. I can't add any spice to it.
It's the Lord's Day. Come on.
That's right.
Exactly. That's what I was going to
Yeah.
point out. It's a
Oh, sorry,
Sunday, after all.
Luke. That particular bucket doesn't hold much water in my household. So sorry.
Oh boy.
But the thing is, during the time that I was working, I was doing this artwork for the Batman the Animated Series licensing department, and I was doing tons of coloring books and children's books and all this. And at one point, one of the scripts they sent me was for a Justice League animated-looking series coloring book. And the thing is, by this time, we had seen all of these heroes portrayed in the Batman animated series and in the comic books, and they had all been done in this animated style. And this one page they sent me was basically a one-page poster of Plastic Man. And the editor had sent me a note, or he talked to me on the phone and saying, the thing is, Scott, I can't give you any reference on Plastic Man in the animated style because he hasn't been drawn yet. So he says, anything that you come up with, that's going to become canon in terms of the animated style version of Plastic Man. I said, oh my God. So I went over the animated style again, and I constructed the view of Plastic Man. So anything you ever see of Plastic Man done in the Batman animated style, that was my design. So that's one of my little claims to fame about, having been associated with Plastic Man. It was really kind of cool. I didn't, those little tiny things just kind of crop up, and it became pretty exciting.
Nice.
I
Brilliant.
think I actually have Plastic Man in a how to draw book in that Batman animated style.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I can dig that up here in a second. I was looking for my copy of DC Special. I thought I had it in my spiral rack, and apparently not.
Okay.
That's how I found Plastic Man initially, was from that DC Special they did where they reprinted a bunch of the Cole material.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
classic
Gotcha.
stuff. DC Special 13, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not good on numbers, but that's... No, I can't seem to find it now. I've got it here in my spiral rack somewhere.
I love it. I just love it.
You can hear that squeak.
Oh God.
Squashing the mouse.
Yeah, that was how my mom found me in the grocery stores. Was
Yeah, let me dig up that book here. I'll be right back.
Okay. So now, Brian,
Yes.
you of course have this your latest nom de plume of fame. Did I use that right? Nom de plume. Okay.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Heck. But
I'll take your word for it.
This was you got some kind of an award not too long ago.
Yes, I did. I got an award. Now, it's in the other room, and I can run get it. Not that I don't know exactly where it is, like I'm proud or anything. But I wrote a crime story, and it appears in this book, Snow Shorts, from Ben Books, Bobby Nash's outfit.
Always promote, yeah.
Always promote. And it's called Snow Ambition. Now,
Okay.
Abraham Snow is a former government operative who went deep undercover inside a international criminal organization. And one day in Bolivia on an airstrip, the big bad comes up to Abraham. And, of course, he's working under a pseudonym. But the guy calls him by his real name, then shoots him in the chest. And my story is about him going to an airport where somebody calls him by his dead alias name.
Oh man.
And hijinks ensue. And I won the Pulp Factory Award. And the Pulp Factory is an annual convention held in Lombard, Illinois, in the western suburbs of Chicago. And I won for my short story there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. I'd never heard that whole story behind how you won it or what it was about. That's very cool. That is
Thank
cool.
you. I've all this time I've been writing. I've been like, don't need awards. Don't need awards. I've got an award. It's from not killing a director of my first stage play. That's enough for me. And then I get this thing, and I'm like, I want more.
I know. Oh,
I
God,
crave more.
You can't get enough of it.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
That's basically it.
It's
Sweet.
plastic, man.
Yeah.
I just love the
That's
logo
awesome.
on plastic, man.
And I'll be telling everybody, see that drawing there? My buddy did that. My buddy Scott. We're like this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, fully expect that I name. I mean, you guys should just know that I name drop all of you. I mean, that's my only claim to fame.
And I
don't have-
expect
I don't have
royalties
awards or
on
anything.
that. So,
Yeah,
pony up there, Luke.
I'll
Who'd
be
be
sure.
name drop my name too, Luke? Nobody knows who I am.
I name drop everybody.
Brilliant.
I'm like, hey, my name's Luke. I've never heard of you. Well, maybe you heard of some other people that I know. Yeah, you know those people? Yeah. It's like, yeah, I know them too.
I'm their best
They're
friend.
like, yeah, everybody knows them. Like, what makes it?
Isn't that the one strip? Lucky Luke is a cowboy strip.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's a very famous cowboy strip out of France. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, very
You know,
cool. Yeah.
And I name drop all you guys because I figure I'm making obscurity sexy again. So
I make a point to never say any of your names to anybody ever, no matter where I go.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, you're famous in our house, even though you don't appear, because Helen asked me the other day, was Rosemary on?
Was
And I
what?
said, was Rosemary on? And I said, no.
No, he didn't make it. No.
I'm famous for
That's
not
when
being-
she got online and said, "You owe me." There's secret betting going on that we are not privy to.
No,
You can win money getting me to not come on. I can't.
Scott's going to make it today. Yeah,
I got a cottage industry to support.
there you go. More Pegasus cups to buy.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
no doubt. Got to keep my little doodads all fresh and around.
That's one of the super pets.
Yeah, crypto.
Nice.
That's from the Super Pet movie. Where'd you find that?
Oh my God! I think Susie got it in one of those packages in a comic store.
Okay.
He was promoting the show.
Yeah.
Just love it. Just love it. I have it right here to get inspired by.
I've never seen the cartoon, but I've heard nothing but great things about it, saying that
Oh, I
it's
know.
really, really good. So, yeah.
I love the fact that Dwayne Johnson, he so gets into these things. I mean, he is just so into doing the whole,
He's not going to be legit with me until they finally do that Doc Savage movie.
Oh, I know.
He needs to be Doc Savage in the worst way.
Oh, I want to see him do it so badly.
Oh yeah.
Ever since he said that they were in talks to do it, I'm like, yes, you are. Do that. Because I want to see that whole troupe cast by the person who decided that Rock needs to be Doc Savage. I want to see all five of his friends cast by that same casting director because he's Doc Savage to me.
Oh God,
Yeah,
he would be perfect.
Right there between Bama and all of the early pulp paintings, just perfect. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, considering all the films that Johnson's been in, where he's got that kind of shirt on.
Yeah, you see him in Jumanji. I saw him in Jumanji. That's Doc Savage right there. That's
perfect.
It.
All they need is that bronze Widow's Peak skull cap for him to wear.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
I felt that way about what's his name, Christian Bale. When I saw the movie Equilibrium, I said, "That's Bruce Wayne right there. That's Batman.
Oh,
That's
wow.
perfect." Yeah, because he looked like Jim Apato's version of Bruce Wayne to me in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I was always interested about is getting that lean, almost not gaunt look, but that Neil Adams type cut to the cheeks and the chin.
Yeah.
And, just perfect. Just perfect.
Yep. Just like when I watched Sherlock with Cumberbatch in it, and I said that is Doctor Strange's attitude right there. It's the attitude I want to see him in the movies do, that aloofness, that I'm like 3 levels above you because I've read everything, not necessarily because I'm haughty, because I've been taken down a few pegs, but I know I am the master of the mystic arts, and it's just it is what it is, that kind of a atmosphere to that character. It's I think it was Englehart, Roger Stern, and Marshall Rogers wrote a half a dozen Doctor Stranges on that off of that attitude. There's a really classic one out there where he's chasing the Brother Voodoo is in it, and Clea is so enamored by him because he comes in through a cloud of smoke and disappears in a cloud of smoke, and Strange is looking at it going, that guy's got a couple smoke bombs, and you're enamored by that? What the heck?
Yeah.
You know, and he goes, Brother Voodoo's had this big main bad all the way through the 70s that has always plagued him when he was down in New Orleans and was always coming up in all of his stories and was real pain.
Yeah.
And he ends up tracking him to New York, and that was the whole basis of the story. Brother Voodoo's comic had ended a long time ago before that.
Love that.
Brother Voodoo pops up in the sanctorum in front of Clea. I'm being, I've tracked the demon here. He's going to cause havoc in New York City. And Strange is like looking at him going, seriously? And then the whole rest of the action in the book is Strange chasing after this demon like a greased pig.
Oh, man.
He's chasing him through Central Park, and he's going all over the place. And finally, he captures him in the mystic bands of whatever, and this demon fronts on him and goes, "Don't you know who I am? I am so-and-so of this and this and that, and I'm, one big badass." And Strange looks at him and goes, "Oh, no, you're just a parademon with delusions of grandeur." And he snaps his finger, and he's gone.
I love it. Now,
Just a great book.
Were those comics were those drawn by Paul Smith?
No, Marshall Rogers.
Oh, Marshall Rogers. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he handled that. The two of them were on that book for about 6 issues. They were classic run.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was.
It's one of those runs that you get the right person, the right writer, right artist, right synergy working at the right time, and boom, you get a run, and then nothing's quite the same.
Oh, just awesome.
Before or
Just like
after,
the Silver
because
St.
that's the
Cloud
character
thing
to
in
you.
Detective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Rogers and Denny O'Neil did a run in Detective that was Batman, phenomenal for the time. Joker, Fish,
yeah,
Hugo
no doubt.
Strange, Silver St. Cloud was in that. Yeah, just
Well,
beautiful stuff.
Yeah, and wasn't one of the issues, Randy, took place in, I think it was Fantastic 419 with the first Rama Tut?
Yeah, one of the Doctor Stranges. Yeah,
and
that blended that book in with it. Yeah,
seamlessly.
yeah.
It didn't do anything to fix the original Lee Kirby thing, but it just flowed seamlessly like it was its own story, and yet the things that happened in 19 affected what Doctor Strange was doing. It was genius writing.
It's like that Deep Space Nine episode that relived Trouble with Tribbles.
Yes.
They were there. They were trying not to screw with the timeline, but they were there.
Right.
Yeah.
What a great blending they did between the DS9 crew and the original show.
Oh, that was so good.
Digital interface was just awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But that Rogers, to me, Rogers is one of those underrated artists that was just way at the top of his game while he was working and was gone way too soon.
Oh, Marshall Rogers. Oh,
Marshall Rogers. Yeah.
Oh. He's
everything that he did was amazing.
Yeah, everybody considers him right up there with Neil Adams in terms of.
When did Marshall Rogers die?
Oh,
3-4 years ago, I think.
Oh, it was quite a while ago.
I think it was a bad heart.
Yeah, I can check it up here on the wiki.
Yeah.
Because he was, his stuff is so iconic. So iconic.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Easy to detect. You look at it, that's Marshall Rogers.
Yeah.
No matter who inked him. Although usually it's Terry Austin, which doesn't come much better.
Now, speaking of artists, Glenn, there was a book on how to do comic storytelling.
Marshall Rogers passed March 24th, 2007.
2007.
Wow, that's longer than I thought.
How to draw comics the Marvel way, Scott?
No, I know about that book. Is one of my Bibles, but it was another one, and I believe one of the artists on it was Richard Parkhouse. Is that or
Steve Parkhouse?
Steve Parkhouse.
Steve Parkhouse, yeah. And isn't he a British artist?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's dead now.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Because
I don't know that book now.
Okay, well, I know that book was just a vital, right on the top of the how to draw art books back in the day when there weren't very many of them out.
Was it a sequential art book or a straight drawing book?
It was a sequential art book. It was
really?
It was how to do comics, kind of like the A to Z how to do comics thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And the Steve Parkhouse it was just tremendous artwork in it, and it's all very foundational, basic stuff, and it's just awesome stuff. And what was he known for doing over there in your neck of the woods?
I'm not really quite sure. I think he worked on Judge Dredd a couple of times. I'm not sure. I couldn't
I
really
think he
say.
did Doctor Who Monthly for a
The
while
name
too.
is incredibly familiar to me. Yeah.
He's also a
Oh, yeah.
writer too.
Yeah, Russ would
Obviously.
know more about that.
Yeah.
Russ Leach
And I-
would know more about that.
Steve Parkhouse, writer, artist, and letterer. He's worked on many British comics, especially 2000 AD and Doctor Who magazine.
Okay.
Yep.
And that
Uh,
particular book, I think Denny O'Neill helped him on it, or someone other person helped him on it. That
Dragon's
was-
Claw, Dave Gibbons
Okay.
worked with him on
That's
Doctor Who magazine. Mike McMahon on Doctor Who magazine. Wrote a lot of the Doctor Who magazine material here. John Ridgway worked with Steve Dillon. The great Steve Dillon worked with him.
I think he worked with Alan Moore as well on something.
I'm looking a lot of Gibbons.
Oh, the Alan Moore thing. Is that family?
Oh, the Bo Jeffrey saga.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
it.
Bo
That's it.
Jeffrey saga with Alan Moore.
That stuff was genius.
Moon
yeah.
Runners with John McKenzie. Spiral Path.
Well, I
Script and
remember
Pencils,
that.
John Ridgway.
Yeah. But I remember.
That ran in Warrior. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's
Big
awesome.
Dave with Grant Morrison.
That Steve Parkhouse, his stuff was always impressive to me. I thought, geez, this is a solid book. It was just, really good. It was real ABC 1, 2, 3 stuff. It was just
Yeah, I published a Bo Jeffries article in Crikey a while back that featured his artwork. Yeah, it's really good. It really, really is good.
How many issues did Crikey go for, Glenn?
16 and a special, a 100-page special.
Okay.
It went down because of Borders. These guys know the story.
Borders. Borders.
It was 52-page black and white to start with, and it got to a point where I got 350 subs. It was in all the comic shops in England, and I got to a point where I either stopped doing it or went big time, so to speak. So I got in touch with a printer. I had to go from 52-page black and white bi-monthly to 84-page full color monthly.
Wow.
to get it into Borders. And
Man.
I did that, and it was picking up, and then Borders just died.
Oh, when the whole
And I
chain
lost-
shut down.
I lost all my stock, and I didn't get paid for the ones that had been sold.
Man.
So
It's
bad timing.
Oh my God, yeah. Which is really the sad thing about a lot of efforts are not by no other reasoning other than the fact that it just the floor just fell off underneath it, the whole situation. You can't.
This one I showed you was the first one that went into Borders, 84 full color pages.
That's right.
It's got Dennis the Menace is in it and all sorts of stuff. It really, I say it myself, but it really is a good magazine, and we had a really good feeling with DC Thompson about all that stuff, the Beano and all that, and it cost me a lot of money, I'll tell you.
I should have you blown up here. You should re-show that so that everyone.
Yeah. See again. Oh God.
Yeah,
Looks great.
beautiful.
Man,
It's really nice glossy paper, and all this kind of stuff, and it's really lovely.
Yeah.
Very slick.
And it was a shame. I'd like to bring it back, but it's money again. So
Oh yeah. Have you thought about maybe any crowdfunding opportunities?
I've thought about it, but it still hurts. So I'm not sure whether I would. I do Comics Unlimited now, anyway, so that's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Man.
Great
But
stuff.
it's a great magazine.
Oh yeah.
Fortunately, he's gone on to bigger and better things.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's good as. Oh, wait. Always promote Jack Kirby, Glenn Fleming.
Always promote your friends.
With the sophisticated graphics you come to expect.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Your lettering's gotten better, Brian. So
Yeah.
But
I'm going pro one of these days. Who needs a computer?
Found an
Scott,
Ames lettering guide the other day. Yeah.
I still have my Ames lettering guide. I
So do
do.
I. I put this out now, Scott. 100-page quarterly.
It's a good book. It's a good book.
It is.
Lots of stuff.
Oh.
That's all
Even
in
though I don't
colour.
edit it.
It's all available over on Amazon as well. Comics
Yeah,
Unlimited. Look it up.
all on Amazon.
Ooh,
Great
is that what
articles,
I'm checking?
a wide variety of articles. British
Uh,
comics, American comics, comics.
And all you need for your lettering is one of those.
There you go. Hang on.
Oh yes, yes.
Look at that,
Amen.
Kate.
His lettering guide.
It's a little piece of plastic that a lot of people used for a long time.
I just
40
got
years
one.
old. This 40 years old.
I just got one. I started out a long time ago, messing around with the aims, but man, I was a kid. I was 16, 17, and so at that time everything started going digital, so I got into lettering, doing digital stuff. So for fun, I'm going back and I'm relearning how to use the Ames lettering guide and just gonna letter some stuff traditionally, just for,
Good.
just to do it, just so the art form
Yeah.
doesn't die,
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you got to,
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's unlettered.
Oh, I love that.
As the old saying goes, how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been?
That's true.
Absolutely.
That's true. There's a guy in my hometown. He does hand painted signs.
Yep.
And
Still.
he's
amazing.
hand painted, on board with brush and one shot paint and all that. And he said to me that I said to him, I love the stuff. I'm a huge fan of that type of thing. And he said, well, I'll tell you, hand painted signs are not going to die out as long as I'm alive. And I just love that attitude. I just love the fact that he's
Good for
committed
him.
to keeping that going as long as he's around, at least.
And
Well-
and those old sign painters are amazing because they could pull so much out of a stroke,
Yeah.
out of a dip in an ink can, and boom, and they knew exactly how far they could take it.
Call up
One
before
of
they
my
had to go after the next
lecturers,
one.
one of my lecturers at college did that. Arthur Cole. He was a lettering artist, but he was the head lecturer at college when I was there, and he brought this big piece of board in that was wide as a shop. It was 10 feet wide, and he said, "Watch this. This is," and it was great because he wasn't really showing off. He was, but he wasn't. He said, "If you want to do hand lettering, this is what you've got to be prepared to do." And he put the board on over two desks, and he got a brush, and he just walked and did this. Thompson's or somebody it was. He just walked and did this lovely scripted lettering from one end to the other. It was absolutely incredible, and we said, "Oh, we're all going home now," because it was the end of the world. Because but I like to hand letter, but I'm not as good as that. It was just fun. It was fabulous.
Oh, but yeah,
You have to have the confidence, the skill, and the
hand dexterity.
hand
Like a
dexterity of a
surgeon,
brain
yeah.
surgeon in order to do that. Yeah.
And load your brush as well, not stop halfway.
You
I
see
did
those? There are a couple of videos. Pardon me, I've seen up on YouTube with guys pinstriping cars like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
With a
look
thin
those
brush.
up. Those are amazing. Those you just
That's
can't believe.
phenomenal artists. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see quite a few YouTube videos of guys doing that hand brush lettering, and especially the guys that can do these precision square lettering.
Yeah.
It's just-
Yeah.
Well, I said before on this, but one of the greatest things I ever saw was Mobius hand lettering with a brush.
Oh,
Ooh,
And
really?
you think, oh my god, yeah, hand lettering with a brush. It was on. He was doing Blueberry, the cowboy, the western thing that he does, and it was all. He's writing it in French, and he was doing it all with a brush.
oh,
Absolutely. You think? Imagine having the confidence to do that on top of your own artwork. Never mind anybody else's, because you wouldn't want to ruin it, would you? And he
Yeah.
was
I
just
can't even
doing it.
imagine that.
It was just incredible, incredible.
Well, Mobius is one of those guys. You get to a couple thousand pages and you see it in your head, just like Kirby
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
right down onto the paper.
Yeah.
the thing is, I would feel confident enough to try it and maybe pull off a little bit. But I could not imagine doing that kind of confidence and absolute mastery of the medium like these guys do. It's just
And in all honesty, he probably learned to do it because he was facing a deadline.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Oh, the
Just said,
almighty
forget trying
deadline.
to fix my rapidograph. I'll just do it by
Or,
brush.
or he didn't want to pay a letterer.
That
Right.
too.
Another thing too. Another reason.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to always be promoting. I figured I'd hold this up, right, Brian? Yeah,
Darned right, sir.
that's what we're doing. There we are. See,
There we are.
awesome. A little bit of inside glory here.
It's good stuff.
Hang on. There we go. There you are.
Zoom. So
Very entry, and we'll tell everybody before the end of the show where they can get that book, by the way. But in the meantime, let's take a quick second out to do a little quick bump for a campaign near and dear to my heart, narrated by somebody who kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah.
When your timeline reaches its Armageddon, what's a kid to do?
I'm not a...
Snag the keys to your mom's experimental ship, of course.
That's not quite how it happened.
Drift aimlessly in the rift between dimensions, trying to figure out how to operate it.
Now hold on a sec.
Pick up a few hitchhikers,
Hi! Hello.
and maybe solve a disturbing mystery that could lead to the destruction of reality itself.
You know, if there's time.
There's always time.
I'm not so sure about that.
Get in on the adventure with the Rift Riders on Indiegogo.
There we
that is
go.
awesome.
That campaign
latest-
is doing really well. We are less than $500 away from hitting 10K.
Yeah,
It's
latest
the biggest
offering from
campaign
Aero
I've ever ran.
Comics, folks. Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Biggest campaign I've ever ran. We got a lot of good feedback the other night, so we changed our title font. We knew it was a little hard to read, but
What's the time frame on that the campaign to end, Luke?
it ends in about 27 days.
Oh,
And
okay.
so,
Just extended it for another 30.
Yeah. We wound up getting on a pretty big channel and was able to get it out in front of a pretty good audience, and so it's picked up steam. It's lulled a little bit, but we got some more shows lined up, and we're hoping to push that over the 10K mark here soon.
And you're 500 away from 10K?
Less than 500. Yeah,
Less than 500. Awesome.
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
sitting
let's
at
spread the word.
Yeah, we're sitting at $9,511 right now.
Awesome.
So, so we are so close, and
Very cool.
yeah, and we got a great artist working on that. Writer has done a fantastic job. I've done a decent job editing, Brian. You should check it out. And,
I will.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. We
God bless
we've
editors.
had some new people get excited about the campaign, and we've got a great artist that's applying their work to the trading cards. We're already unlocked the first trading card. If we can get up to 1,300, I think we'll unlock a couple more. So
Yeah. Well, that'd
we're
be
pretty
awesome.
excited about it, man.
I was going to say, I love the look of the art. I mean, it's got a really nice, kind of a lush cartooning look to it. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's really what we were going for. We wanted something kind of lighthearted. This is very much a good mix of sci-fi and it's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off meets Doctor Who and stuff like that. It's got that real feel of a classic sci-fi, but we also wanted to kind of grab a little bit of the look of the cartoon version of the first one, not the newer one, but the first Teen Titans, where it had that kind of fun animated feel to it. So that's what we're looking for. That's what we've been doing. We've got 2 new pages that's getting ready to come up to get posted as soon as the colorist is done with those this weekend. And so, yeah, we're growing this thing out. We've already since we funded, we're already got the art going. So we're getting everything going. So we will have this book fulfilled in February.
Just think how that artwork would have looked if you would have hand lettered it, Luke.
Yeah, imagine. You just,
Glenn.
you're so close.
Glenn,
Yes, Luke.
shut up.
As Luke remembers, it's Sunday.
Yeah, and he's a pastor.
I love you.
He's
I
a
love you,
pastor.
Glenn.
Yeah,
I love you, Glenn.
too. Yeah,
I love you,
I would never tell anybody I love to shut up.
I
That's terrible.
only tell the
Glenn.
people I love to shut up.
Glenn, I hate to say it, but I
The
think
people I don't like
you've
get a
been
little
Luke
worse.
Stone bitch slapped. I'm sorry to say. But
People I don't like get a little worse. I'm telling
Do I
you.
get a badge?
Yeah, you do.
And there's a cool tier over on that campaign, the Aero Comics bundle. You can get 8 of the latest Aero comics for only $50.
Yeah,
Those
check
are
that out,
awesome.
guys. Yeah, check that out. It's,
Lots
awesome.
of good reading there.
Yeah.
Talk about a
Number
real
one
variety.
bundle.
You see a lot of people's jumped on that. We have 44 lucky backers grabbing that one. So
Including Marby, Sin Killer, Russ Leach's Only Death Can Save Us, My Hero Bot Zero, Luke's Hybrids. Revolt, which is a great anthology book. Also, the Rift Riders book is in there, as well as Calico and my version of Superman, Paragon.
Oh, cool!
Great
These
stuff.
are great books, man. I'm telling you, if
Lot
you
of
don't
fun.
if you don't find something in that bundle that you like, I'm deeply sorry for you because
You probably don't like comics.
yeah,
Probably not.
yeah,
There's
probably not a lot that you
awesome
like.
stuff.
Fantasy, science fiction, superhero, horror, just cosmic adventure, silly robots.
Everything's in there.
What more do you need?
We got it all. We got
There
it
you
all.
go. That's the Aero tier on the Rift Riders campaign over on Indiegogo right now. Go over there and take a look. It's only going to be up there for the next couple of weeks. So buy it now.
Awesome. Awesome.
So what were we talking about? You've changed the logo on Rift Riders, huh?
Yeah, we changed the logo on Rift Riders, updated it a little bit, made it a little easier to read. Yeah, we've got. It's moving along. It's doing really well, and this is just a fun comic book.
Yeah.
We've talked about church and we've talked about strip clubs. You can leave this on the table or the chair at church or at the strip club. Okay, it'll work.
Sometimes
It'll
those
work
are
in either
interchangeable.
place.
You can't.
It'll work.
Is it finished, Luke? Or have you just
No,
started?
it is. It is written, and we are 7 pages in. 7 pages in. We needed to fund this in order for me to be able to pay the artist. I had to know the money was coming in. I couldn't front this one while I'm doing the hybrid stuff too, because I'm getting ready to do a sign up page right now for hybrids. So we got a lot going on with that one too. So I'll be running a few campaigns at the same time, producing
awesome.
a couple of different books.
Awesome.
Kind of overlapping, overseeing them all. It's pretty exciting stuff. It's a fun season for me, and this is a really fun book. I really think people will enjoy it. It's definitely making comics fun again. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No. The other thing is that I like the fact that you say you've got a few more shows coming up where you're going to be there promoting it in person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What shows are those going to be? Not I don't want to step in your host shoes there, Randy, but I'm curious as to.
If you were stepping, Scott, I'd tell you.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
Always promote.
I'll be honest with you. The shows I'm going on. Let me see. Okay, we've got.
Well, if
Global
you're in
Frequency.
the Kentucky area when you watch this program, you know where Bowling Green is. You can swing by and see both Luke and myself.
Yeah.
On the night
okay.
today.
Yeah.
That's why we're pre-recording this.
Awesome.
We're doing a show in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah. So
I wish I could go because fortunately, I've got a show that day too. It's in Fowler, Indiana. It's called Library Con. Unofficially FezCon.
FezCon, yeah.
Yeah.
Saw some promotion for that.
Yes. Otherwise, I'd be down there to hang out with you two. So.
New York Comic Con's this weekend as well.
Oh, that's been
a
all over the
big
place.
show out there.
Oh,
yeah.
I've heard of that.
I've heard of that.
you heard that one?
Yeah, but maybe it's kind of here or there.
Yeah, I get around,
How much does it cost to go into New York Comic Con?
A lot.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I know it's expensive to set up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
You
the
have to get
price of a
accepted.
human soul?
I mean, just a person to go through the door. What does it cost?
Oh, it's probably $45-50, I would imagine.
Hang on, I can check into that.
And what is it? 11,000 for a table or something?
Pretty close.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's like C2E2, a Chicago-based or con by the same people. Getting in through the gate is not expensive. Getting to the gate, on the other hand, or setting up on the other side of the gate,
Yeah.
that's costly.
Oh yeah. Susie and I attended C2 a couple different years as Artist Alley, and I tell you, I mean, you do the business, but it takes about as much money to get into it as it does as you make. So we were lucky to walk out with enough money to pay for gas to get home. I mean, so
Yeah.
you have to weigh your options.
It can be hit or miss with these things. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah.
You
really can.
That's why I don't go to. I haven't gone to that one. Bowling Green is a little cheaper. It is a 9.5 hour drive for me, but
9.5 hours.
Yeah. Well, I figured I was planning on meeting Randy halfway anyway. I got to pick up some books. I've been able to, so we got all these books to move.
Yeah.
I've been able to move 100 of mine so far. So
if you want to reserve a ticket, and this is before the show starts for Thursday night, $80.
Wow.
For the New York Comic Con.
That's just to go through the door into the building.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's like 1,100 or 1,200 for the table.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't even count if they have a celebrity and you want an autograph. So now we'll say if you ever see me at a show, I will autograph all my stuff for free. However, if you don't want my autograph, that's an extra 20.
There you are.
That's true. Well, there's an active amount of people that avoid you specifically, Brian. So, it's hard to gauge.
And I'm not saying that it's unwarranted either.
And I've seen them run screaming in the opposite direction.
That means I've done my job.
And their guests this weekend are Oscar Isaac, Sebastian Stan, Andy Kubert is going to be there. I'm just looking for people that I recognize.
Sebastian Stan is going to be there.
Alex Siviak, yeah.
Wow.
Oscar Isaac's going to be there. He was Moon Knight on the MCU movie or the MCU series.
Yeah, and he was Poe in Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Amanda Connor. And it's nice they mix the comic guests in with the media guests too. That's kind of
cool.
That's kind of hot.
Whiz.
Andrew Peapoy's going to be there.
Oh, Andrew. Good old Andrew.
He still owes me a book.
I turned down the opportunity to go to a Stan Lee talk many years ago, well, about 10 years ago now. A friend of mine bought me a ticket, but he was in London, and it was when all the Kirby thing was going on, so I couldn't go. I couldn't do it, so I sent the ticket back. But I found out that he was charging. I wanted him to. I've got Fantastic Four annual number 2. Is it the wedding? Signed by Jack, and I wanted Stan Lee to sign it as well, obviously, but it was going to cost me £50 for him to sign it, and £50 for a photograph. And I thought, this is ridiculous, So anyway, so I didn't go. That wasn't the reason I didn't go. I just wouldn't have done those things. It was just that Kirby thing was going on, and I thought I can't support that.
Right.
The last time he was in the area was I think the first or second Detroit fanfare con that Dennis Barger is putting on. It was $125 for an autograph, $125 for the photo.
Wow.
Right.
Man.
And he was pretty much propped up by that point.
Oh yeah.
Terrible.
It got to be a little tragic there towards the end. Yeah. Anson Mount's going to be at New York Comic Con. I'd actually pay admission price to go in. Brandon Fraser is going to be there.
Oh,
wow. I'll tell you what they did to Stan was nothing short of elder abuse, in my opinion.
Yes, it was.
Oh, I agree.
That's the only way to describe it. Christopher Lloyd will be there. Dan Harmon will be there, co-creator of Rick and Morty.
Christopher Lloyd's going to be there.
Yes. Daniel Radcliffe will be there.
Man.
Oh, wow.
David Boreanaz will be there.
They're going
to. Is Daniel Radcliffe Harry Potter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
That's amazing. I mean,
he just got done. There's a movie biopic coming out of Al Yankovic that he was the star in.
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Daniel Radcliffe was on a program, Graham Norton's show. I don't know whether you get it.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Well,
we get BBC America over here. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. He was on that, and he was lamenting the fact that he'd been in all those Harry Potter films from when he was 2 years old and all this, whatever it was. And he'd been in 58 films, and he was 23 years old, and he felt that he'd been typecast. And then it was revealed, he was somewhere I read that he was worth $22 million. And I thought, what are you worried about,
Exactly.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Typecast for 20.
Yeah, it would impinge on your work schedule, though, a little bit.
Man.
I think I'd be busy catching aircraft going all around the world if I was worth $22 million, I tell you.
If I had this money, I'd throw mine away.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You want to keep working in movies, though. You try to get cast. However, James McAvoy will be there. Ice-T and Coco will be there.
Man.
At the New York Comic Con. Cartoon characters, those two.
Oh, my God, yes. No, I tell you, Glenn, I absolutely love Graham Norton. It's probably one of the best talk shows out there.
I agree.
Yeah, he's good, he is good.
Yeah. His whole format of bringing all the guests out at once and being on the couch is so.
I think he's. It's great the way he gets away with that, because we used to have a guy called can't remember his name, the Irish fella, Wogan, Terry Wogan.
Oh,
okay.
Well, I remember once he used to, when he was really big, like in the early 90s, he'd had 3 shows a week for half an hour, 7 till 7:30, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on the same show, in 30 minutes on the settee, on the sofa, he would have somebody like Martin Sheen, Georgie Best, the footballer, and Omar Sharif. Three people you want on their own for an hour.
Yeah.
And he'd have 3 people on for half an hour.
Yeah.
And I thought, what a waste of time that was. But Graham Norton does it brilliantly, because he gets them all interacting. He gets some great stories, and that's why I like Graham Norton. I think he's really good.
That's the entertainment value in his shows, getting those stories out of people and getting them to interplay back and forth. I saw one with Tom Cruise, I think, in not Glenn, Charlize Theron, I think, was on it. Yeah. And everybody was talking about all the imitations that they can do. It's just priceless.
Awesome. And the fact that Norton himself is a hell of an entertainer just on his own.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, the whole thing
he is good,
nonstop. Wonderful.
I saw him on an old episode of Father Ted.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, he was like a semi-regular for a couple of years.
Yeah,
he was brilliant. Wonderful stuff.
He is good. Yeah.
I know Susie absolutely loves a lot of the British mystery shows, like Father something or another. He, one of those casual mystery shows that come out. I forget, Father Murdoch? No,
Father Murphy, probably.
Father Murphy.
Midsummer Murders and all things like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
I used to love Jonathan Creek. He was a stage magician who used his knowledge of illusions to solve crimes.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was really, really a brilliant show.
Cool.
Bill Bixby did it way back when as the magician.
Well, that's true, yes.
Remember?
Right.
He used to have metallic cards that he could throw like shurikens.
Oh, those are
way
great.
Back when. Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Never forget that.
Was it Rosemary and Thyme? I think it was another.
That's another one. Yeah.
Two gals.
I never watched that, but I've seen it on. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Love that stuff. Love it. Love it.
Great stuff. All right. Well, Glenn probably has to get going. We're hitting at that hour and a half mark.
I'm okay for a few minutes if you want me to stay on. I'm okay for 15 minutes.
Well, that's probably going to take everybody that long to say where they can be found.
Okay.
So,
just about right.
Scott, tell folks where they can find you.
I'm in the middle of my new comic book, Errantry, Sword and Sorcery, Fantasy. Wonderful. Barbarians, sword fights, demons, evil kings, all kinds of great stuff. Find it at your, I don't know, you might have it at your local store, maybe not, but you can always find it at my Facebook page. Scott Roseman at Facebook.
Scott Roseman at Facebook.
That's the name of my book. That's the name of my Facebook page. Go there and ask for one.
But will you be there?
I
will not. No, I'm kidding. I will be there. I will be there.
He'll be there eventually. Yeah. He's not there right
it.
now. He will be there soon. Brian, tell folks how they can find you.
Go to risingtide.pub. It connects to all my YouTube broadcasting, and you get to see a plethora of the books I edit. This one's not on there because it's not mine, really, but I'm proud that I have edited this book, obviously, which comes with a CD, by the way, but I didn't have anything to do with it, but get it anyway. But I do have other books available on Amazon, and if you see me at a show, I'll be happy. If you buy it on Amazon, I'll be glad to sign it for you with happiness, and if you buy enough, I'll carry it to your car.
Awesome.
I'm here to please. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
anyway,
that's customer service right there.
I'm telling you, I put the service in customer service.
There we
so,
go.
So anyway,
that's a rare commodity nowadays, by the way.
Need you on grocery night there, Brian, where we come back.
My wife used to work
right.
at the library, and the department she worked in was adult services. I was always like, that's a
pole dancing, adult services.
That's a strange name.
Yeah, clubs.
I didn't know they did that at the library. I'd have went more as a kid.
That went when I was too young to appreciate it, obviously.
There you go. Luke, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at lukestonestudios.com. All of my pertinent links are over there. please join the mailing list. Here's the deal. You don't have time to read emails, and I certainly don't have time to write them. So when I do send them out, they're few and very few in between, but they are to the point. So please join that mailing list so we can let you know when new books are launching, when new things are on the website. And please check out Rift Riders right now on Indiegogo. Please make this Luke very happy, and let me hit that 10K mark. That'll make my year. Honestly, that'd be awesome. Yeah. So thank you very much for taking the time to go to the website. Check it out. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can get all my stuff on Amazon, especially this one. This is my latest, and you get a DVD with it about my visits to see Jack Kirby. You can also, I also publish this quarterly 100-page magazine about comics. You can get my character Hatch. He's on Amazon too. You can find me on these podcasts. You can find me on my own podcast on Thursdays, but not last Thursday. I did it. I messed up again.
We're just going to pretend it didn't happen.
On Thursdays,
Thursday
morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Comics Unlimited podcast with Ted Davis on Ted Davis Artistry. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can send me one of those emails that Luke never reads to comicsunlimitedmagazine@gmail.com.
Great.
Awesome.
And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Wednesday nights. We hold a little Zimcast where we talk about the comics industry with a bit of opinionated vitriol here and there. That's usually on at 8 p.m. I'm thinking about moving it to 10 p.m. though on Wednesday nights over at the Indie Comics Network, just because I send out a bunch of links and nobody answers them. Everybody's too busy. So.
Do it at 5 a.m. I'm awake.
Well, that's Comics by Night right there. Comics by Night. Friday morning. We'll be back on Friday mornings with Comics by Night, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. About 11 o'clock in the morning where Glenn is. It's Comics by Brunch.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock in the morning until our daylight savings time runs out, and then it'll probably kick back to spring ahead, fall back. So yeah, it'll probably go back to then. That's 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Indie Comics Network. Make sure you check that out, and then we'll be back again next Sunday for another episode of Sunday Funnies here at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings Eastern Standard Time. We love doing this. We love talking about these books or the different media that puts a glint in our eye and keeps us inspired to keep doing more of this great sequential art form that we do.
And please support Brian Morris so he can get a better looking sign.
Brian Morris, yes.
Glenn's into hand
lettering. Always hand letter. Yes.
Don't knock hand lettering.
That's right. I could have done this this would have been a computer job, but this was a hand. Never mind.
And I might be back this Wednesday with my fake studio backdrop as well.
Oh, excellent!
Trying to get that to work.
Trying.
Yeah, I keep trying. So I have a lighting problem. So anyway, but we'll get that fixed, folks. If you get a chance, go out and visit your local retailer and spend a couple hours there. Look through all of those boxes that have a little layer of dust on them that people don't look through very often, because you'd be amazed what great fun comics you're going to find in those pages.
Absolutely.
That probably might not have even been priced for the last couple of years. So you might get a deal. And if you buy a lot, you might be able to talk the retailer into giving you a deal.
And if you'll find some treasures.
There's some great stuff there. Yep. And if you look, if you have a campaign that you're promoting, or a campaign that you need to ship out, or if you need to ship out any comics, make sure you go over to Gemini Comic Supply, GeminiComicSupply.com, and look at those Gemini mailers. These things are designed to hold comics, magazines. They have a bunch of different sizes over there. Buy a bunch, and on your way out the door, as you're checking out, they'll ask for a coupon code. Use the coupon code RAGIN10, RAGIN, the number 1 and 0, and they'll knock 10% off your order, courtesy of the folks here at Comics, the Indie Comics Network, Ragin 2 Promotions, and the fantastic folks over at Gemini Comic Supply. Hold that up, Scott. Let's look at that.
You'll find
An
gems
old, great
like
old
this.
Marvel team up there. That had a, if I remember right, that's got a really cool art team in it. The interiors are really good in that.
Yes,
I can't remember
very
who it
much.
was. Was that Gene? That wasn't Gene Day, was it? That did that?
No, I think that's it might have been. Let's see here, real quick.
Dan Day, Gene and Dan.
Here, I can't read it. What's it say?
Hold it.
I'm not good.
Sal
on it either.
Buscema.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sal Buscema.
Oh, who was the inker on that?
But I couldn't
then?
tell the inker.
That's Steve Lealoa. Inker.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bet you.
That page is a rip-off from Shield, isn't it?
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
very much Jim Stranko influence. Yeah.
Steal from the
Definitely.
best.
Yeah, Steve Loyola. Yep. Awesome
Nice.
stuff. Awesome stuff.
I've got a sketchbook by Steve that's about the size of a Big Little book. That's just
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great stuff too.
Early 90s.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
Sweet.
Can't go wrong there.
Mike
Yeah.
Parabek. Good stuff.
Yes. Another artist gone way too soon.
Yeah.
So that's it, folks. We're very happy that you were able to join us for this episode of Sunday Funnies. We'll be back live next weekend, I'm pretty sure. And we appreciate everybody that was in the chat today, all of you that behaved, that is. Hope you behaved.
Yeah, prepare
And I
yourself.
hope somebody was there with a wrench, just in case. On our way out the door, we want to remind everybody of the immortal words of Mr. Stan Lee. When asked if digital comics would replace comic books, Stan said, "Comics are like boobs. They look great in a computer, but I'd rather hold one in my hand."
Wise man.
Absolutely.
I'm always going for my wife's computers.
I'm always going for my wife's comics.
Remember, everybody, meatball doesn't work that way. That's right. We'll see you again next week. We're going to go out with the opening we should have opened with.
See
Not
ya.
this one.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
That's not the one.
How dare you?
That's not it either.
Not the first time I've heard that.
Oh, you've never seen that?
How dare you?
I use it on my show.
I hold that. I there's a longer cut of that. I just cut it out early. But every time we talk about Marvel, especially over on the Zimcast, I pull this up.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
We talk about modern Marvel. That's an editorial comment that we don't normally do here on Sunday Funny.
No.
Might as well.
But we also have Dave.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Oh, and sorry, that was Sunday morning. Sorry, Luke. Anyway,
I feel my flesh peeling.
we're trying to stay family friendly here. We'll see everybody
I
soon.
apologize.
Which family?
Yeah. See ya.
Take
See
care,
ya.
everyone. Buy
See you
those
guys.
independent and alternative comics, especially ours.
Yep.
Some great stuff out there. Spend some time over on Kickstarter and Indiegogo as well. There's lots of campaigns over there that are high quality that need some love.
Yep, buy one,
Especially
back
right
one.
now with this hard economic times, you need some great entertainment, and right now that's where you're going to find it, in those back issues at your local retailer and over there on those campaigns. So go over there and enjoy yourselves, get some fun. We'll see you soon. Take care.
See ya.
Now on, and that's the wrong one. Let's try it again.
Okay.
There we go.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!